Hi again everyone. So today Rain is going to show us how to make pineapple gelato.
We've got some pineapples here for our sorbet. But before we start doing any of that, we're going to pasteurize the base again.
Okay, so remind us what's in the base.
In the base, we have caster sugar, we have dextrose, fibre and stabiliser.
And what's dextrose again?
Dextrose is a sugar that we use just to help when the product freezes, doesn't freeze too hard. So I'm just setting the temperature here to 60 degrees again, just for the pasteurization. So I have my filtered water, put into the top.
How much water is that?
300 mils is what we're using today. Adding all the different stabilizers and sugars.
You said there's fibre in it as well?
That's correct.
What does that do?
Fibre we use in sorbets especially, because when you blend the fruit, it actually breaks down the natural fibre within the fruit. So by re-adding fibre again, it gives the mouthfeel as if it's full, is the easiest way to understand it. So pop the lid on and we'll just switch it back on, just so it starts cooking. I'll turn the temperature down just so it doesn't spurt out everywhere. Again, this only takes a few minutes, it doesn't take very long. In the interim, we'll break down the pineapple. So you can see that it's starting to ripen quite nicely. These pineapples are from the Sunshine Coast. Very sweet, very, very nice pineapples. Take off the skin. Thanks to my handy pastry spoon, as most chefs call these instruments that us pastry chefs have. So what I'm going to do is just remove the core. The core just gets a little bit bitter, so you don't want to add it in, it's not very nice. Now the pineapple, you can really do whatever you want with it. You can roast it on the barbecue, bake it in the oven, it's entirely up to you. You can change the flavour however you like before actually blending it. But today all we're doing is just cutting it up and processing it as per normal. So I need roughly 500 grams. Alright. There we try. That's some damn good pineapple. Wow, that's sensational. Here you go.
Thank you.
What do you think?
Oh, it's good. I think growing up in Sweden, I thought I knew what tropical fruit was like. But I was completely wrong my entire life until I came to Australia.
Well, different country, different climate. So, we've reached temperature. I'll just turn it up now, just to make sure all the sugars in there are stabilised and emulsified properly. Alright, switch it back down, turn it off. Pop in the pineapple.
So you said before that you could actually barbecue and cook the pineapple before as well. How would that change the flavour?
Caramelizing the sugar will give it more of kind of a molassesy flavour. So I'll get a deep caramel flavour instead, which it depends what you want to do at home. If you're looking for that flavour, it's very simple. You have the handy oven, whack it in, coat it in a little bit of sugar, caramelize it off, ready to go. Now I'm going to blend this on a higher speed because pineapple's got a bit of texture and fibre in it, if we blend it on a higher speed, it'll just break that down. But because we've added fibre, it also means that we're not going to lose that texture that you get from pineapple. So, as you see, because the pineapples have come from, these are actually room temperature, these weren't even from the fridge. But as you can see, we added room temperature pineapples, it's already dropped the temperature quite quickly. You have a look, to be honest. So that's been blending now for about 7.5 minutes. So we're just going to do it for roughly another minute more, just to make sure everything's really broken down properly. Probably switch it off now, that's probably enough.
So if you don't have this machine at home, what else can you use?
You can use a Thermomix, you can use a My Cook, you can use a Home Chef. There's many different blending and heating tools that are available to you. You can even cook it on the stove top and just use a stick blender. If you do that though on a stove top, you just got to blend it for a lot longer. Because this heats and blends at such a high speed and it gets all the liquid, it doesn't take as long for the sugars and that to emulsify, where if you do it on a stove top, you actually got to cook it for a little bit longer and really watch the temperature. But this guy, because he can set the temperature exactly, it gives a very accurate reading. Same with the Thermomix, same with the Home Chef, they're all very similar. So as you can see, there's all the bits and bobs that were still in the pineapple have been now blended down into the mixture. Again, I like to put a bit of Glad wrap just on the top. Just so that when we put it into the fridge, I don't have to put a lid on it, nothing falls inside. It also means that it won't sweat by putting a lid on.
What do you mean sweat?
It just creates a bit of moisture. That's about it.
And we don't want that.
No. So again, 12 hours we're going to leave this for. Just a part of the maturation process. It just allows all the stabilizers and sugars to be dispersed and activated properly within the mixture. Tomorrow we'll churn it.
Okay, looking forward to it.
Yum! Delicious!
Okay, so we are now ready for the last and final step for the pineapple sorbet. Am I correct?
That's correct. So, we're just finalising and finishing off the pineapple sorbet. So this is now matured for a good 12 hours. So same as the other sorbets we've churned.
I'll come around to have a little bit of a look. So that's what it looks like at this stage.
So we're just going to, again, pop this into the freezer so we can get the bowl nice and frozen before we extract it. The freezer's pretty packed.
Luckily we have 2 more down in the basement.
Alright, so first thing, always double check that this is closed on the front. If you've got a front extraction, just make sure you close that. If you don't, you'll have a lot of liquid pouring out the front of it.
Yep.
So again, we're just going to pop the pineapple sorbet base into the batch churner. We'll just sit this on the front as a precautionary method. Close it up, switch it on, and we'll let it start churning. We'll come back in a few minutes and check on how it's going.
Okay, so we have patiently waited for a few minutes now and it's ready, isn't it?
Yep. So it's now reached -7 degrees, which you can see right there. And if you look inside here, the pineapple sorbet has gone a lot lighter in colour from where it's been aerated slightly.
That smells really good.
Let's grab our frozen bowl and extract. press the extraction button with the lid closed.
Come a little bit closer, see what it looks like.
Alright, and that's it. So there's our pineapple sorbet, churned and completed.
And what about tasting? You forgot the most important part.
One for you.
Yes, please.
That's pineapple. Thank you guys for watching, and make sure you tune in next time for more videos and tips on gelato, sorbets and everything to do with ice creams.